Hi, my name is Henrik Petersen. I'm a business development director in the DIAP team, and I would like today to introduce you to the platform. The DIAP name is shortened for Data Intelligence Analysis Platform, and it's a name that's registered worldwide for this product. So, short agenda for this presentation. First, we want to just introduce the platform, what it consists of in terms of hardware and software, and then go into a bit more details about the capabilities in the form of the analysis possibilities and how we implement it security-wise, and in the end, a wrap-up of the advantages using the DIAP platform. So the DIAP platform consists of three things. It's a hardware solution. It's able to obtain data from PLC sensors, equipment, could be robots or machinery in general. It's a platform in the cloud software that can use the data coming from the hardware side, or for UAB systems, for instance, and then do analysis on this, statistics, do big data analytics, etc. And then on the last part here on the right, you can view the data either in a web browser or in an application for your phone. So next couple of slides go into a bit more details in each of these areas. So first we have the hardware, which makes it possible to do what we want to do. It's a versatile solution that can go and pick data from any kind of PLCs, or you can get sensor data into the solution. Depending on what kind of PLCs you're using and what kind of age these PLCs got, you can either connect them by the Ethernet ports or the I/O port here on the right. We can run up to 5 PLCs in one DIAP in parallel, and on the I/O interface we have 8 digital inputs and 2 digital outputs from the solution. We have 4 analog inputs, and we have 2 buses, a CAN bus and an RS485 bus we can use to extend the capabilities in terms of getting more inputs into the DIAP solution. So we can add an extension module to the solution to get more data. On top of this, we have possibilities to run wireless data. It could be or sensor data from Bluetooth sensors or Wi-Fi sensors into the DIAP platform. And when the data is in the DIAP, next step would be to get the data from the DIAP into the cloud. But maybe just note here that the DIAP actually consists of a pretty large hard drive that also store the data internally in the DIAP. So if you have a breakdown, if your connections have been lost for some hours, you'll still be receiving data from all the equipment, and you will still be timestamping all the information that's captured in the DIAP. So as soon as you get access to the cloud again, it will offload all the data from the DIAP platform here and push it into the cloud. So the data, when it needs to go from here to the cloud, it can go done by Ethernet. You can do it by 4G, or you could do it by Wi-Fi. So that's the 3 standards that take the data from the product into the cloud service. So next step on this is how we want to use this data. So in the basic functionality of this is data collection, real-time data collection. We have a performance part here, and with OEE. We have a predictive maintenance interface, and we have a machine learning interface. So that's like the 4 different ways our platform have put together. So looking in the basic functionality, so this functionality, everybody is buying the DIAP platform be getting this functionality. So data collection is, that's a standard part of the solution, and it's in all the DIAPs you could buy. So real-time data collection and visualization is the basic functionality of the DIAP. You get access to all the data from all your machinery in real time, and you can visualize that. You can add up counters, trends, etc. What you want to do with your data. Remote access and configuration means that you get, when you get the DIAP, we set up a cloud for all the DIAPs, and in that cloud you will access to all the DIAPs you buy, and in the cloud service here you can control how the DIAPs is being set up by Wi-Fi, Ethernet, etc. What kind of sensors that's connected, addresses for PLCs, etc. And also all this safety functionality. So there's other videos here on the homepage. You'll be able to find information about this. But So when you get the DIAP, the first thing you need to do is just to make sure it's running and got access to the network, and then you'll be able to do all this. The real-time dashboard builder is made in a way you can control these on your own. You can scale the windows up and down. You can choose what kind of windows you would like to have, what you want to view. You can have multiple different views. So you have a drop-down menu. So you can have, if you want, like 50 different views, depending on what you want to be looking for. That's something you can configure on your own in the page. Very simple to use. Simple alarm management, you can set up alarms for everything in here. So could be, for instance, be if you have a demand that you need to run your production in a certain temperature environment or certain humidity environment, you can set this up alarm. So you say I'm running in this span. So if you go beyond that or below that, you get an alarm on your phone, or you get an email or a notification on your phone. And then the whole historical reporting part, of course, this is a cloud solution, so it's very scalable in terms of storage. And you can, if you want to have data up there in the cloud for the last 5 years or 10 years, you can easily do that. But the other thing is that the solution is very clever in terms of getting access to historical reporting. So you can just in the solution directly here go and choose, let me show data from half a year ago. If you have a callback on some of the things you manufactured, you can go back and see what was the conditions you were manufacturing at that time, and you can recall that and see, okay, how was the line running, who was on the line, what did we do in that specific time, and then you can view that. So that's very easily done from the interface. So next part here is OE and stop course registration. So you have real time access to this. The only thing you need is to have the DIAP connected either by, you could add sensors to your manufacturing line. Some just add one sensor, so they measure the count. So when products go in the end of the line, they measure the number of products, and if no products are coming in a certain time, it shows up that there is a stop. But other people take the data from PLCs. You can do both with the DIAP. And then you can register what kind of stop courses you got, so you can see when you start to look on a daily or a weekly basis, see what's the main cause of the line not running at optimal speed. And also the digital lean here, which is an extended functionality. It's taking all the ideas behind the lean thoughts, but instead of having manual whiteboards where you can draw how things are going or print out paper, you have the whole lean environment running here in a cloud platform. So, and everybody running on the production floor will be able to access all this data, and it's very easy to decide who can see what. So that's next step on the DIAP platform. So predictive maintenance, or the management interface. So instead of doing your preventive maintenance, predictive maintenance is, when you have access to the data, you can go and decide, for instance, if you have bearings, see, let's measure the vibration and the temperature on these bearings, and as soon as that changed, either because you have historical data, what it looks like just before they break down, or manufacturer have supplied you with this kind of information, you'll be able to get this, and then you can set up alarms and say, right, when we start to see these vibration change in this direction, we would like to know it, and then we can do a planned stop Sunday night and change the things before we get into prime time Monday with the whole manufacturing setup with people waiting because the line is broken down. So predictive maintenance, there's a lot of possibilities in here to do that. And as well, use some of the big data we have access to here in the solution, so you can start to because you have historical data and that some part of your line when it's been running like 10,000 hours or so, that something needs to change, or that it's necessary. So because you have the data available, you can plan all this, and then you can make sure that you are focusing on the right things. So that's the next part here on an add-on functionality to the DIAP platform. So the last part here on these add-on packages are the machine learning part, big data analytics, and our AR functionality. So here you have multiple inputs to the DIAP platform, it's running in the production. And these parameters, the input parameter, you have output parameters. It could be quality, could be speed, and etc. You can have multiple things on the output, and using machine learning and the big data analytics, you have a high amount of data available from previous manufacturing time, what you've done in the past, and you can see if you want to have the output parameter, like for instance, could be quality. If you want the highest possible quality, then you see how should we set up your production setup to maximize quality, and then maybe you can see that you need to run your line at maybe 90% of the speed instead of 100, or you need to have day shifts instead of night shift running on the line because you maybe have more errors in a day, or maybe the opposite. You can have these different parameters, and having all this data available, this analysis possibility, it makes it possible for you to get this data out, and the platform can can give you these adjustments, or you can have the platform to go and adjust the machine on its own. So there's lots of possibilities to use this functionality. So looking at the windows here, so if you take all the diagrams here on the right, you can see curves, how it looks, some of the curves you can and diagrams you can use to visualize data, and these will be you can use and show these on your web browser. On the bottom, you have your smartphone application where you can set up alarms, notifications. There's a call button here. So if some people want to, if you are a floor manager, maybe you need to have an alarm function where you can call your main service guy, or maybe if you are a place where you don't have a service guy, you can call one of your suppliers to come and help you fix a problem. So, but each user on the platform here can set up their own alarms and their own views. So it's and you can add as many as you want here. So going to the next part here in terms of the dashboard. So we have user specific interfaces depending on where you are. So if you're an operator, you can maybe want the view about the machinery we are working at. You want to know how it's doing, the health of the machine. It could be again speed, temperature, humidity, etc. It could be things like that. You want to know the machine is doing well, because if you not have a machine that's running, you cannot manufacture what you need to do. But maybe the next step up here, production manager, he expects that maybe the operator to be responsible that the machine is running, and his main focus is that you keep a high OEE value, meaning that the machine is being used as effective as possible in the time and hours a day that you are manufacturing. And then you have a plant manager. He might have a completely different view. He just wants to make sure that all the products are being sent out of the manufacturing plant in the right time, so it gets out to customers. So, but the solution makes it possible to set up all the users that you want, and they can have all the different different views that they want. So each login to the platform gives you different views, and you decide exactly what each person on the platform can see and what kind of data he can use. In terms of the implementation here, it's a cloud-based solution, the DIAP platform. Here in July 2018, where this presentation is being recorded, we are using Microsoft Azure as our main provider for the cloud services. And there is a lot of security things related to working with the cloud, to making sure we're getting data and all the information captured in the manufacturing floor, get that secured into the cloud, so that all the security in terms of that have been implemented and being used in the solution. It's a Linux platform, and we've done everything possible to have the latest functionality in terms of Linux security implemented in here, and it needs to keep being updated. So that's like the product it's a license-based product, so you have a yearly fee on the solution, and that makes it possible for us to have people here keep updating the platform and making sure that we keep getting a secured setup, and we update the platform with the new kernels and etc. what's needed. So that's been very high on the list here to make sure that it's secured, so we do the right thing here. So to catch up on and ramp up on this, the four competitive advantages using the DIAP platform: reduced downtime, Downtime is of course one of the primary things here to make sure you keep your production line up and running, and you take if there's any problems, you get them fixed before people come into work, and so you have the production running all the time. And then live machine data. You don't need to have any printed material out anymore, or draw things or take notes on your whiteboards. You can log into the system anywhere, get live machine data, see how things are going, or if you are maybe a service person, you can go in Sunday if you want before you go into work Monday, and you know exactly what's expected. What the health is of the whole setup. And then it's an updated and upgraded system. It's license based, so you get when you're on the platform here, you keep getting new functionalities, new windows, and you go and choose, go directly into the web portal and choose when you want to update the platform. So we just make the upgrades available, and then you can go and choose when you think it's the time for you to update the solution. And then the last part, a complete solution. The DIAP team is providing the full solution here. We don't have any other parties that we need to negotiate with, so we decide directly how we implement things, and if we have good ideas from feedback from customers, we can very quickly go and have this into our strategy and develop these new functionalities. So it's very flexible. So in terms of contact information, you find all contact information related to the DIAP platform here at www.diap.online. And if any questions, please find information here to contact us. Thanks.